Well, so I wanted to start. So first off, Aqua, I know you probably know. I'm not sure if you know, but so everybody else knows. My name is Nick DeFusco. I am known as Mr. 69 by my username. Again, not really what it suggests. So the way that the username worked is when we and Astro Donkey did our pre-sale, I purchased NFT number 69, which was the limited 69. So I don't really know what this entails because the devs still don't tell me. So it's a special NFT, and I don't know what it entails, but I am here, and I embrace it fully, and I am very happy to be part of this community. The devs are great. This project is great, and we are just so excited to have you guys on, especially, like I said before, the room started to fill a little bit. So excited. You guys have had so much going on this week. We're so happy you took the time out, Valor, to come in and chat with us. Again, I wanted to let everybody know before we start, so this will be recorded for our podcast, which you can listen to on Spotify, Apple Play, YouTube, all that good stuff. So thank you again for coming on, Aqua. How are you doing tonight?
I'm good, man. Happy to be here. Like I said, we can definitely consider you guys friends. So we'll always make ourselves available for you guys, man. You just let us know and we'll be here.
Awesome. And congratulations on getting the contract settled tonight. I've been poking in. I know I said I was leaving earlier, but I was still poking around when I had the chance. Saw the contract was ready to go and got myself set up. So congratulations on that.
Nice. Yeah, we're excited. Really cool contract. I think it's going to work smooth as silk. The reflections and everything.
What do you guys?
Go ahead.
No. Go ahead. Sorry, I cut out for a second there.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, the contract's deployed. All of our pre-sale tokens have been distributed, and we are ready to go. We're under 24 hours. We launch at 3 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. We go live, and I'm really excited about this. This was not thrown together. This has been going on. This is 7 months in the making. I don't know if anybody knows that, but we started this 7 months ago to get to this point.
So, Aqua, what are you launching on? What platform are you guys launching on?
It's so funny. You're familiar with Rug Seekers. Rob from Rug Seekers was the founder of this project. He handed the keys over to Chuck as the CEO. But we don't use a platform. We use a trust. And obviously it works. This is the fourth time we've done it. We use a trust system, believe it or not, and we do not recommend this for anybody else. We set up an open wallet, and Chuck had it, and everybody sends their BNB to Chuck, and then we airdrop their tokens to them. So there's no platform. It's straight up trust. This is the fourth time we've done it, and it's gone off without a hitch every time.
Wow. So how did you guys come up with that in the first? So I know that it might not be easy for you to answer, but how did you guys decide to do that? I mean, were you just like, hey, you know what? Let's do it. We have a trusting group of investors. Let's just send it to him and make it easy, or
that was basically it. When Rug Seekers launched, it was a small group of people, all pooling together, and we were just, the launching platforms are expensive, they're glitchy. You got to connect your wallet. It's just kind of sketchy. And like I said, I wouldn't recommend doing this with Shiba Inu coin. That's 2 days old. But we're kind of established at this point. The trust is there. We're all doxxed. Everybody knows where we live. Everybody knows where Rob lives, and we've got some history behind it. So we're really, really flattered that people trust us like this. We collected 1,300 BNB into an open wallet, into an open unlock wallet for this. So people trusted us that much.
Yeah. I was like I said, I've been poking around the chat. 1,300 BNB, and it was what, 2 days that it was filled?
It was. We opened it up, and we filled 1,000 BNB in a day. This is no advertising, nothing. This is word of mouth. Just said we were going to do this, and people started sending us money. So we filled 1,000 in a day, and then people were like, "Well, I didn't get in. I didn't even know." So we're like, "Okay, well, we'll open it back up, and let the last few stragglers in. Well, the last few stragglers was another 1,000 BNB. So we actually got, and we didn't collect it at the time. We took pledges to what people wanted to contribute to the pre-sale. So we were pledged 2,000 BNB in 2 days, no advertising, word of mouth. And then when we started collecting, obviously, the market took a downturn and whatnot. So we ended up actually collecting right at 1,300 BNB out of the 2,000 that was pledged.
Wow. And right behind all of them was me, who just got cut right at the end.
Yeah. Always late to the party.
Oh, of course. Yeah, that's usually how it is. I call it fashionably late. So tell me, how did you get involved into crypto in the first place? And I love asking people this question that we have on, because it's always such a different story, and it's so nice to learn about, especially like you said, you guys are considered a great friend to Astro Donkey. We always see you guys in the Telegram. We're always poking around your Telegram, and we don't get to talk, as much as I personally would like on a personal level like this. So I love hearing the stories about how people get into crypto in the first place, because last year, BNB was at $50-$60 a coin, and now we're at 470, which is time for me to stock up a little bit, but
down from 576 something, yeah, for sure.
Right.
Well, my story is it's an interesting one. I have a swimming pool company. I moved to Colorado about 11 years ago. Went to work for a guy. I had my own pool company, quite successful in North Carolina, but not having any contacts out here. I went to work for a guy and had a catastrophic injury. Got a 1,600-pound hot tub dropped on me, broke my neck, my back, my shoulder, pretty much gutted me. And so everything that I had, like I said, I was fairly successful in life, and everything that I had saved up, all my toys, all my money, my savings, everything went. I was out of work for 7 years, having surgeries, physical therapy, multiple spinal surgeries, and my shoulder was repaired twice. And so in recovering, I knew that I was pretty much physically done. I can't do the hard labor, concrete and rock and stuff anymore. I build custom pools. So I started looking for something else to do, and crypto had always kind of been an itch in the back of my head, but I just didn't know anything about it. And I'm not a tech guy. I am definitely an analog guy in a digital world. So in my rehabilitation, I just kind of started looking into crypto and never really would jump into it. And I actually started a t-shirt business, and I was like, man, this is not what I want to do, And so I got in, like everybody else, in SafeMoon, and just kind of floundering around by myself, buying stuff, selling stuff, not paying attention to the taxes, just losing money. And I lucked across the group of guys that I ended up coalescing with into Valor in another project, and we just kind of became friends. And they directed me on kind of how to, more on what not to do than what to do, because what to do is anybody's guess. What to do is anybody's guess, but what not to do is pretty universal. So, they gave me a quick lesson in hey, don't do that, and here I am. We kind of through the months became friends, and this popped up, and I was honored that I was even considered for this, being that at the time I was in crypto less than, I'm still in less than a year, so that, that's kind of where I came from, a construction background, needed something else to do. And this kind of just fell into place, man. And I met the right people at the right time with the right project. And it's just, when something's meant to be, it.
Right. So were you involved in, so I want to clear this up, because I have this question. I know that some people in our community have this question as well, and I'm sure other people do. What is the coincide, or how do Valor, Rug Seekers, how do these projects kind of mesh together? Is it the people? Is it the environment? How are these all going to be related somehow? Is this not yet supposed to be said?
Right. There's a couple of things that we want to finalize before we really talk about as far as how they intermesh. We're still kind of working out the details. Basically,
Oh, think you went on mute there. I think anyway.
mute. Yeah, I muted
Yeah,
myself.
there you go.
So Rob, who was the founder of Rug Seekers, actually is the brainchild of Valor. And so we were all in Rug Seekers. And as far as the community just kind of followed, plays again to the trust. We always say that Rug Seekers is 100% safe investment. And I like Rob's line. He calls it an alarm clock crypto because you don't have to set your alarm to 2 o'clock in the morning to wake up and look at your wallet, see if your money's still there.
I like that. I've never heard that before. That's a good one.
Yeah. That's Rob's. That's all Rob. That's not mine. That's Rob's genius. So
he's not on here. You could have stole that from him. You didn't have to give him the credit.
I should have, but I got to deal with him later. So.
All right.
So, we can't guarantee you that it's going to go up, but we guarantee you that you're not going to get ripped off. Your money's going to be there. The market is the market, as everybody knows. But you don't have to worry about someone running off with your money, and that's for sure. And the community sees that. We're all about over at Rug Seekers fighting scams and educating people on investing safely and making sure that bad guys get called out and the good guys get called up front and shown to people. So, and Valor was kind of born of that. And as far as us working together, it's never a bad thing to have scam hunting partner. So,
right. So we'll have next week. We're actually going to be talking to Rug Seekers. So that's why it's actually funny how I can kind of be like, oh, what are we doing? Are we talking to Valor? Are we talking to Rug Seek? So it's kind of cool to see that the projects are together, but they're not, right? And you can tell by the community. So when I pop into your Telegram, I see a lot of the community, and I see everybody engaging that. I see Rug Seekers, and it's like it's one big family, right? It's one big happy family. So the first question that I saw when I see Aquaman, Valor / Seek is, what is the difference? What is the similarities between the two? So thank you for touching on that. And I also want to ask you a little bit about, so obviously we're here to discuss Valor today. I want to know, how did your team come up with Valor in the first place? Because I know, I've done some research on the coin, my DD. I love what you guys are doing. It's a great cause. And I'm actually drinking some Horse Soldier today, which is a veteran-owned distillery. So nice. Yes. So I didn't want to let that go, sweep under the rug, but I want you to talk a little bit about Valor. How did this come about in the first place? How did you guys come up with the idea? What are your main goals for this launch?
So again, Rob, the founder, his brother is a state trooper. I am ex-military. Chuck, our CEO, is an ex-fireman. So
thank you all for your service. Not to interrupt you, but thank you all.
No, you're good. You're good. So, we saw a need there, and actually Rug Seekers came first. Valor was the first idea, but Rug Seekers kind of needed to happen first. Valor is big. We have as many lawyers as some projects have holders. So there's a lot. We're not just a cryptocurrency. We're also a charity. We're a registered 501c3 nonprofit corporation. The actual cryptocurrency is just a part of what we're trying to do. So there's a need for this, and that's the short answer. There's just a need, and it's not being filled. Everybody knows there's a ton of money that flows around in crypto, and there's a lot of bad stuff out there. So we're hoping that we are attracting people into a safe environment that can park their money with us and have a safe, vetted investment that they don't have to worry about, but they're also doing good. I always say there's three kind of people that give to charity. Okay, there's the people that are just generous and life has been good to them and they want to give back and they just throw that money out there. The second kind of person that will give a charitable donation is someone who has been in that situation and can empathize and wants to help because they themselves can relate to that situation. And the third type of investor is someone that will give money but kind of wants something back. They're doing it for tax reasons or whatever, and which is fine. It doesn't negate the need, the want to help, but they're being smart about their money. So Valor catches all three. Because we're a 501c3, we can take corporate donations, and those corporate donations are tax deductions for those corporations. We can take private donations. Those private donations are also tax deductible, and individuals can give directly to the charity. And this is outside of the cryptocurrency. Okay. Then you have the third type who wants a little something back. And there's nothing wrong with that because they're investing their hard-earned money. They're making a donation, they're powering the machine, and they're also seeing a rise in their investment. Well, hopefully, that's the plan,
right.
That their investment's going to go up. So we kind of cover all three, all three types of people that want to help. A lot of people would want to help in something like this and would want to donate, but either don't know anything about cryptocurrency or just don't care to know anything about cryptocurrency. So we kind of covered all three bases.
Yeah. So without going into too much, you talked about the three kinds of people. So how does Valor's charity system work? So if I was going to invest in Valor, how does that investment directly correlate to donating to charity?
Okay, so from the crypto side of it, everybody knows there's tokenomics. So there's a 10% buy and sell and transfer fee. So anytime, say you put $100 in, we get 10 of it. That 10 is split in half. Half goes to reflections, half goes to liquidity. So that helps sustain the token, and it also gives back to the holder. So your amount of Valor, if you buy into Valor, always rises. You're getting reflections with every buy, sell, and transfer. Now we have a swap liquefy function that takes a portion of that tax and splits off that goes to a charity wallet, and that's what pays the charity, the marketing, and all of that is explained pretty well on the website as far as the breakdown of taxes and where the money actually goes and how much of it actually goes. We plan on being very, very transparent about this. Again, we're a registered 501c3, charitable organization. So there are a lot of legal and tax implications that come along with that. So we've got to keep very detailed records. So if we're going to keep those records, why not share them with everybody? We've got nothing to hide. So, we're going to be very transparent about how it works and where the money's going and what is coming in, what's going out, where. You'll be able to look at that and see exactly what we're doing.
Yeah, that's so important, and that's a great move because there are so many tokens out there right now that focus that are charity, right? That and we had a talk a couple weeks ago with Hunter about this. Hunter Patterson, who's a great reference guy, is just fantastic, and he had really explained. There are so many tokens out there that focus that preach charity, right? Charity is in there. They're almost trying to lure people in with charity, right? But they don't want to show how their donation is actually affecting charity. And
right.
What I think is so great about Valor is that you guys are a licensed, with 501c3. You guys are licensed. You guys have to display this information, right? You need that legally. You need to have this information. And I really appreciate the similarities between the charity donations and the blockchain, right? You can see everything on the blockchain. Why would you not be able to see what you're donating to?
Exactly. And that's a problem in cryptocurrencies, the lack of transparency. And I see Jim Roberts is on this call, and he would smack me right in my head if I did not mention that anybody that buys in, even to the, through PancakeSwap, 5%, because we're a charitable organization, 5% of whatever you buy in is tax deductible.
Okay, so that's for people that are looking or have questions about Valor that are here tonight. There's and like you kind of touched on, Aqua, that's kind of that touches one. It benefits everybody, but you feel like it almost has that kind of, those people that are looking for that deduction while trying to make some money, right? So I would like to kind of focus a little bit and try to get your opinion on. You talked about these three groups of people that like to donate to charity, right? How is Valor kind of targeted towards each of these groups? And this is a good example for the people that are, looking to donate because they want the tax deduction.
Sure. Well, we are pursuing all three avenues aggressively. Dave Tennant is our chief business officer. He's based in Australia, and he has already got us corporate donations. We were taking donations before we even had a white paper.
Wow.
People want to be a part of this. We have already made our first donation. The Officers Down Memorial page is linked to our website, and we made a $5,000 donation to them. And what they do is there's an app, and if you want to see why we're doing what we're doing, download that app. It's available. You can see it on our website. Every time an officer falls in this country, they put up a memorial and say how, when, and why. And every one of those memorials that goes up, we donate $100 to the Officers Down Memorial page. So the corporate side of it is all Dave, and I see he's in here. Why don't we? I mean, I'd love to hear from Dave. I'd love to hear from Dave on the if he's available.
Yeah, hi Aquaman. How you going?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, hi Nick. Thank you for having me on.
How you doing?
Yeah, very well, thank you.
Good. Great to have you on. Thanks for stopping in.
No, not a problem. I think Aquaman has everything covered. He's doing a wonderful job. But yeah, while you're on the corporate topic, Aquaman started to touch on it. But look, we've already had a lot of interest from different businesses and corporations who want to get involved in Valor, and that's something that we're really going to target to try to separate us from other cryptocurrencies out there, rather than just having the everyday investors putting their money into the project. We're looking at going to businesses as well and getting this corporate money flowing into the project. Aquaman has already touched on it, but it is actually a great way for businesses to be involved. And I know myself, similar to Aquaman, I've run a couple of large companies, and you're always looking at ways to invest the money and the profits within the business. And in particular these days, a lot of companies are looking at cryptocurrencies as investment strategies. So this is a fantastic way that companies can put their money into crypto. They know it's a safe project. The main thing is they're helping the cause rather than just sending the money away and getting nothing in return. They can actually invest into the project, receive some tokens, and actually have that money in there supporting Valor. So it's really exciting. We're getting a lot of interest already, and it's something we'll be straight after launch. We'll be pushing quite heavily in the United States and in Australia, and obviously over in the UK and eventually over in Europe and all different regions. So we're really hoping that we can grow this project quite quickly in that corporate investment.
Yeah. So I do have a question for you since you're on, and Aqua had said that you were based out of Australia. So when you guys formed Valor, when you guys, you guys focused on the charity, did you guys see any kind of implications being so where are you guys, first off, where are you guys registered? You guys are registered in the States, correct, as a charity?
Correct. So we are in the process of doing it for Australia as well, as in if there's Australian businesses who are donating to an Australian registered charity, that way they can get their tax deductions over here. Currently, we are registered in the United States, but we will be setting up the different registrations in other countries such as Australia, the UK, and that to ensure that people can get the correct tax deductions as necessary.
Yeah. I was going to ask. That must be some sort of a headache, right? Having to deal with all that.
It is, and it's every country is different. Unfortunately, some countries you can donate to an international charity and you can still receive the deductions in your own country. Other countries don't allow that, so it is a bit of a headache. But we're looking at ways around that but we're focusing on the main three areas first: the United States, Australia, and the United Kingdom, and we'll get those established first, and then we can start to look at other regions.
Right. Well, again, thank you for stopping in. It was great to hear from you.
No problem. Thank you for having me on.
Oh yeah, now Aqua knows he has backup too. So if I end up cornering him, he's got somebody to cover him.
Absolutely, I'll jump in. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, I'll leave
So
you to it. Thank you.
thank you.
Thanks,
Of course. Of course. So Aqua, another question. You kind of been floating into the astronaut community for a little bit now. We've seen you pop in. I a little bit about about me. I work from home, so I'm just kind of sitting by the computer most of the day anyway. So I'm kind of observing traffic. I get to see who pops in and out, even if I can't necessarily chat. I see that your team and you are in there pretty frequently, which is awesome. And I wanted to ask what kind of similarities that you saw between Astro Donkey and Valor, because you started off the podcast and said, we were great friends. You saw a lot of similarities, and I couldn't agree with you more. I'm more curious as to what kind of similarities you see between us.
The passion and the drive to do something for someone other than yourself. That's what I see. The selflessness, the support of the community, the giving community, and just the fun. We kind of keep it like we're a really, Valor it's not a party. This is a very solemn thing. Like with you guys with the St. Jude. It's good to have fun in the chat and keep it light and be friendly and have that family atmosphere, but you can't lose sight of what you're doing, because it's a very serious thing. We're dealing with death and destruction and loss, just as you guys are, and it's easy to lose sight of that and kind of let the community run away. I don't think I'm saying anything wrong. Some of these Telegram chats you see for some of these communities are horrible. They're absolutely horrible. They're a zoo. It's a sewer. You guys,
Oh, of course.
And you know what I'm saying. I'm not singling anybody out. It's just kind of a trend, and the when Lambos and the people just in there to cause trouble, and you don't see that in Valor. We're pretty strict about what we allow. It's no memes. We allow jokes and fun and all that, but it's a solemn place, and I kind of get the same feeling from you guys. You're a light. You have to have humor. You have to have levity. If you're dealing with loss and death and sorrow, you can't let that seep into you, or else it'll drive you crazy. So the similarities I see are not only in the drive of the teams and the passion of the teams to do something outside of themselves, but the support that you get from your community. That's the biggest thing that I see.
Yeah. If you couldn't tell by my name, we're not all business. So it's all, we have some
my
fun.
My mother did not name me Aquaman.
Yeah. yeah, we do. We have a lot of fun. We see, from me looking around and realizing that I can't put any stupid GIFs or stickers in your Telegram. I understand. You guys have, especially with the pre-sale coming up, and I want to give you a little chance to talk about that. And we have a good crowd here today. I'd like to have you, give a little more detail about the pre-sale. I know we had chatted about it in the beginning, but I see people always cycle in and out, and I want to give you another chance to kind of give more detail about that. But with everything that you guys have going on, for you to be able to cycle all these AMAs, which I come in and listen to, and to set this all up behind the scenes, and get a contract built and get this coin launched. And I know you guys are experienced professionals with this, but this is no easy feat. So for you guys to do this in such a professional manner is a huge, huge accomplishment, and something that's very easily distinguishable.
Absolutely. So our pre-sale, we started with 120 million tokens. 40 million of those will be burnt at launch. So that leaves 80. 50 were allotted to the pre-sale. And like I said, we collected 1,300 BNB. It's roughly 38,000 tokens per BNB is what the pre-sale investors got. Once that's all doled out, that leaves 30 million available at launch for purchase, which is 25% of the total supply that we started with. So you talk about hyper-deflationary. After doing the math, we're, depending on BNB, we're launching somewhere between a penny and a penny and a half, somewhere in there. We won't know, obviously, until the second we launch. The pre-sale, like I said, it was based on trust. I've never seen anything like it. I mean, if you trust somebody in this space, 9 times out of 10, you're going to get burned. There's always somebody looking to rip you off, looking to do you wrong. Send me $1, I'll send you back 2. This place is so rife with that we are, we didn't do this because it was easy. We're building a brand. We want to have a place where people can come, where they know it's 100% safe. It's not 95% safe. It's 100% safe. We can't control the market, but we can absolutely control ourselves. Everybody has their price for buying and selling tokens, but our morality and our ethics are not for sale. So we are trying to change the space for the better. With Valor, we're going to use this platform to show people what a cryptocurrency can do and to set the bar for what a cryptocurrency should be.
So without going into too much detail, because I know that a lot of this stuff is not really hasn't been talked about yet. Do you guys have any future plans in terms of functionality of the coin? Anything that you think the coin will be used for, or goals for what you think the token will be used for?
Sure. Well, right off the bat, we are going to have an awesome, massive merch store. We have got some merch coming that is awesome. Who doesn't want a Valor hat? Who doesn't want a Valor hoodie? We are working. Jim, who was on the call, we are working on an NFT angle that I don't think anybody else has even thought of. It's going to be a game changer. Our NFTs are going to be something that this space has not seen before. So, there's an expansion on that. As far as what the token will be used for, man, the possibilities are endless. We're innovators and we are forward thinkers, and we are already outside the box. So I'm kind of interested to see what we come up with moving forward. Our focus has been, on getting everything in place, lawyers and licenses and all that. So once we launch, we can really focus on a direction. And it's going to be community driven. That's the thing. Everything from where the donation money goes to, merchandise, what we carry in the store, that's all going to be community based. We are going to lean heavily on our community for direction. So it's not just going to be us steering the ship and everybody's, sitting out on the patio. Everybody's going to be rowing with us. We really want high community engagement on this. We're given to some really large charities, Help for Heroes in Australia, Wounded Warriors here. We are going to link up with them, and they've already got the infrastructure in place to use the money effectively. So we're going to donate to them and paint with a broad brush by, donating to established, reputable charities that we know are doing good. But we can also, through the community, a lot of stuff gets missed. Not every tragedy makes it on the news. So just because it doesn't make the news doesn't mean that the need for help is any less. So if someone in our community lives in, Enid, Oklahoma, and there's a tragedy at a fire station and a couple of guys are lost, we can set up a wallet just for that and donate just to them. And we're going to find out about this from the community. So the community is going to say, hey, this needs to go here. This needs to go here. We can set up voting. We can set up different wallets. People can donate to specific causes while the machine is running in the background, powering, the larger donations. We are going to use the community for the laser focus and put that money exactly where it needs to go.
I see. Awesome. Yeah. I was actually going to ask you a couple questions down the road, how you guys were going to determine how you donated to, especially because you guys are so widespread across the world, between the States, Australia, the UK. How do you guys find how would you guys find and determine what constitutes a donation and what doesn't?
Right, and that's it. I mean, we're going to lean on our community. Dave has got the corporate end of it covered with the donations from them. But we really, there's no shortage of need. So, and like I said, you don't always see it on the news, and it might be, you might have a friend who lost a brother, and we wouldn't know about that unless you told us. And so that is the model, is that it's not just community based, it's community driven. The community is going to have a say in what's important and what's not. It's not just going to be us handing out money and telling you, well, this is where it went. Like I said, we're going to be open and transparent. You'll know where it went, but the community will be able to drive the focus of what we're doing.
Right. So you guys have done, and for everybody, again, Valor is launching tomorrow at 3 p.m.
Eastern.
That's right. So if you did not get into the pre-sale like stupid me, make sure that your ass is on your computer or by your phone at 3 p.m. and get ready to go.
Absolutely.
So you guys do a lot of AMAs. I've seen you guys all over. I've listened to a bunch of them this week, especially. You guys were all over the place getting ready for this. Is there a question that you have not been asked about either Valor, yourself, your team, your community, that you wish that somebody had asked you?
I don't know. We've done a lot of AMAs, and I'll tell you, you guys are pretty thorough. I would throw that back at your audience and say, is there anything that you want to hear that we haven't spoken on? That would be where I would go with that.
Well, so we've talked a lot about Valor itself, and I will say, we haven't really talked. We've talked a little bit about, Astro Donkey, the similarities between the two, how we are so community driven, how we have goals to donate to charity. I'd like to know, I've done a few of these now. I'm very new podcast. I think my third or fourth episode podcasting. So I think I would like to, at least as the face of Astro Donkey on these AMAs, I would love to be asked, why are you doing this, right? Why are you getting on and talking to, why are you talking to, other coins, right? Or other tokens, sorry. Because I feel like a lot of the cryptocurrency world, and this has opened me up so much getting into the Astro Donkey community, about everybody is so competitive in terms they want the business, right? This is a business in a way for a lot of people, and I'm not saying necessarily for Valor or for Astro Donkey. Astro Donkey may be a licensed business, but we don't operate as a business, right? We're operating as a safe place for somebody to invest their currency, or to and I think that this whole getting into Astro Donkey has really brought to a head that there are projects out there that really want to look out for other projects. And I think that's one of the things that I wish that, especially now, that I wish people had asked me about why are you doing this? Because I really, really enjoy, and I know the Astro Donkey community enjoys it too, because they get on here every Thursday. They listen to me talk in my stupid Boston accent for an hour every Thursday about cryptocurrency, and they're here to support me all the time. And now all of a sudden I'm looking at the chat right now, I see names in all the other communities that I have never seen before here to talk to us and listen to us. And right. I've learned a lot that's why I'm doing this, to find other awesome, like-minded individuals like you, like our community, like the Valor community, like the Rug Seekers community, like the Wrath community, like every community that is out there that we talk to every single day, whether it's in our Telegram, whether it's in your Telegram, we're playing games, we're having a good time, right? I love it. It's just, and I wish that I actually got to talk about it more, because there are not many good projects out there, and we hear this all the time about how everybody is ready to get rugged, right? And I was on a Poodle, listening to a Poodle AMA yesterday. Poodle's another one, a great friend of Astro Donkey's, where they were talking about liquidity and, what constitutes a good project. and what to look out for when you're looking for a good project. And you might have the community, and the community might be great, right? Everyone's talking and everyone's having a good time. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. You're this. But people don't look at the little fine details, right? And also taught me in all of these communities, there's a lot of similarities between looking out for the good of their investors and the good of the community.
Well, sure. I mean, the why we do it is easy. The good guys need to stick together because the bad guys certainly do. The only way that you change a space is to band together. Let the good guys band together, and we push the BS out. This is our space. It doesn't belong to the scammers. It belongs to the good projects and the good investors and the honest people. As with anything, you're going to get, a bad element in there. And that goes back to our Rug Seekers roots. And that's why Rug Seekers was launched first. We need to make the safe space for something like Valor to even exist. So the why we allow other communities in here and why we're not competitive, there's enough room for all of us if we're all good. This space is so small, and I've said this before in other AMAs. You think that crypto is so huge, with all the chaos and, it moves so fast and all these projects rise and fall and these rugs. It's the same 100 people. It's the same 100 people over and over again. It's the same, 500 people in all the communities. So it's a really small space. And there is a huge amount of growth. Everybody on this call is a pioneer in cryptocurrency. Every single person on this call. We are the leaders. And if we don't show people, if we don't lead them the right way and show them how this is going to be done, it's going to be chaos and the space will disappear. And that would be a shame because it's got a lot of potential. And it's got a lot of potential to make people money, but it's also got a lot of potential for things like Valor, for things like AstroDonkey to grow and not only be a safe investment for people, but also do good and not be just about the money. Everybody likes making money. I mean, got to pay the rent, got to eat, it comes down to money, but that can't be the sole focus of your being, and if it is, then you need to look at yourself and you need to look inward because you're missing something. There is something bigger than yourself out there. And that's what we're all about. We want to find people like you, to ally with and to fight the good fight. So yeah, we're always going to be welcoming to good projects. There's no competition there. We don't look at it like that. We look at it as we're all pulling on the same rope, working towards the same goal.
Right. And it honestly, it's so great to be able to find projects with such a similar mind. And it's so refreshing because before, when you're more on the investing side, right, you're always looking to make money, right? That's why you're investing. But when you're in the community, when you really feel like you're part of that community, all of a sudden you learn that it's not just about investing. It's not about making that money, right? It's about building connections. It's about meeting friends. And it's just so much more than just investing, right?
Absolutely. So there's nothing wrong with making money. There's nothing wrong with it. That's why we do this. It's called investing for a reason. But if you can invest and secure your own future, but also do good at the same time, it's a win-win. It's a win-win.
Right. So Aqua, we have Nick. Yeah, I'm actually we have a couple questions lined up. So I'm
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's fine. You can interrupt. Yeah, no problem at all.
Yeah, go ahead, Jay. So it's all about you.
So, well, we're going to go in line because Jay's going to wait because he interrupted. So Hunter has. Line, Jay. Yeah, he's kicked. So Hunter Patterson, the one and only, has a question. Hunter, how you doing?
Hey, doing really well.
Great. Hey, Hunter, what can I answer for you?
Hey, Aquaman, always good seeing you, brother. First and foremost, thank you for taking the time out to answer some questions this evening on the podcast here, the Ask Me Anything. And everyone is really excited for Valor. As a former Marine of 8 years, I'm definitely behind the project 100%. And of course, when I first heard about it, anyone who knows me knows I had to go and check it out. Because you hear just so much crap in the crypto space, and so many folks are trying to tap into that uniqueness that just when someone says you're supporting veteran organizations, it just really taps into that soul of a person to want to help, and so many people get cheated. So really, really proud of all the hard work that's going into this. I did have feedback, if I may.
Absolutely.
Knowing that you are a 501c3 is critically important. And up until only recently, actually, I mean, I've been in and out of the AMAs and such on there, but it's not listed that you are a registered charity on the Valor World website. And
Right.
I deal with quite a few investors, all walks of life, and myself. And I think that really to change the game and to just kind of drive that home is if it was, if that piece was more transparent. I mean, you guys have built an incredible thing. And I
Right.
think that it really gives those assurances to those persons when they hear and they can tangibly see we are a registered charity, and this is the mission, and this is the token as a part of that 3-step fundraising system. I would just love to see that out there, because I think that could really change some people's mind when they see that, oh, it's a charity token for veterans. Like, no, these guys are the real deal.
Right. So we are registered in Enid, Oklahoma as a nonprofit. The 501c3 is a federal filing, unbelievably complicated. Many lawyers involved.
Oh,
and
yeah.
We want to,
Yep.
and that's the other thing, speaking just off track just for a second, speaking towards safety, if we pull any shenanigans, we go to prison. This is a federally registered charity. We cannot mess around here. We've got to be really, really careful. So, being that it's so complicated, we want to make sure that all of our T's are crossed, all of our I's are dotted, and that we are legally in the right, and 100% above board before we go nuts with that. We're still very young. There's still a lot of paperwork being done. There's still lawyers involved. The token is launching kind of first. And everything else will quickly follow. So yeah, that is a really important thing to advertise, and it is strong as far as what I spoke to towards safety. That tells you that we can't mess this up, or we pay personal price if this goes off the rails in the wrong way. There can be no even the illusion of impropriety with us, or we're going to have the feds with doing a colonoscopy on our entire lives and our project and our families, and we don't want that. We want to avoid that at all costs. So, yeah, I do appreciate the feedback, and that will be pushed harder as we get more established. We've got to get some legs under us. We've got to get the project up and running and start making donations, and that's a part of the vetting process. Is they've got to look at us and see that we're doing it right.
No, and you're 100% correct there. And just for those that may not know, I mean, I'm very familiar with the process of things, and just thinking from, the average person coming and new to crypto, but really wants to give back to those organizations that matter. There is a very meticulous process that you must follow, and most folks don't understand that. And along that process, we all know government takes a very long time.
Yes.
But with all of that being said, in the interest of validity, in the interest of reinforcing the point for being a safe project, I love seeing this right here. I mean, just one step back, folks, and being candid, you have an AMA that is occurring in another crypto project's channel, because these communities recognize the level of importance of crypto for a cause, and crypto can definitely change the world. It can be utilized as a fundraising platform. There is no tribalism. There is no mine's better than yours. We are all connected. At the end of the day, we want to do well in the space, and I am just beyond thrilled to see this level of compassion. and this level of professionalism between the projects. So thank you, both of you, to Donkey, to Valor, Rug Seekers. All of you folks have just been phenomenal. And with that said, if I can ever help leverage my platform, I am never very partial to any one project.
Right.
I can't be, just in the interest of full disclosure, but
Absolutely.
if I can ever help reinforce the point of validity, I am absolutely pleased and so proud to speak on Donkey, to speak with Valor, to speak on behalf of Rug Seekers and say, hey, you guys, this is the real deal. This is where you guys need to be. And even to our friends over at Poodle, I mean, collectively, I don't know if you're aware of this, but all of your communities, all of your holders are almost 100,000 strong, with several of these communities. So we can make a change in the world, and Valor is going to be a good step, as you made mention, to a need that exists. And so I commend you for that, man.
Well spoken, Hunter, and we appreciate your support. And man, hang out, come see us in the chat. Anything, you're always welcome there. We'd love to see you.
Can I jump in just for a second, Darren?
No. This guy's trouble. Ban him. Go ahead, Jim.
I just want to. My name's Jim Roberts. I'm not specifically a dev. I'm an advisor to the team. Darren and I talk several times a day. With regards to 501c3, part of the reason why you don't see that broadcast the way that maybe you think it would be beneficial, you will. There's a process, and you alluded to it, Hunter, so I'm speaking to everybody, not just to you. The 501c3 is a tax status, okay? And the primary step, obviously, is to form a nonprofit corporation, and that's already been done. If you think of 501c3 tax status being, let's say, granted to the corporation, it's kind of like an audit, right? The IRS wants to see if there's any conflict of interest or benefit to insiders or something, if this is a repeat, or if the actual purpose is actually genuinely for a nonprofit purpose. So it's almost kind of like a preemptive audit, and they need to go through that process. And that's kind of a walk in the park when you don't have any dirty laundry, and there isn't any. Everything is on the up and up. So that's the only reason why that's not the highlight of what we're doing. That's just a foregone conclusion, and we want to make it, have it in hand from the IRS. Although everything that Darren stated is 100% accurate, 501c3 is a tax status that can only be denied if there's some odd dealing that's happened before. There are no hurdles with that, and it could be a 30-page up to 100-page application. So the IRS is not exactly the most efficient machine in the government. So that's just something I wanted to let you know why.
No, I'm very glad you brought that up, because you hit the nail on the head where, I'm familiar with the nonprofit status and such, the process within, but most folks that are new to crypto have no idea. And so, when somebody says, yes, we're a registered charity, and folks are like, well, when do I get to see the 501c3? They don't understand that's a filing status. That allows you to take a deduction. But to get to that point, one could also say that, well, as a registered 501c3, we're doing the following, and it could almost muddy the water in the initial fundraising or an IDO. So I get why that component is not there. I just definitely think that, as everything catapults forward, it's going to be a driving home point to potential investors to let them know that, hey, we've arrived. We're here. We're serious about this. And it, as Aquaman had mentioned, fundraising on the blockchain, there's accountability 100%. There's no putting it into a kettle and walking away. Investors have a complete transparent view of where this money's going, and I can completely respect that.
Yeah, and that's imminent. It's really just paperwork at this point. It doesn't change anything about what we're doing. It doesn't change anything about how we function. It doesn't change anything about what the goals are. It's going to become very relevant as a plus, but right now it's certainly not a negative. It's just a process.
Well, thank you for that. Appreciate it.
Well, there you go. That's why we have Jim around.
Yeah. The pinch hitter, right?
That's it. Allowed me to stop and drink some water.
Yeah, right. I only prep with bourbon. I forgot my water tonight. But so while we have him here, so for everyone that's here, in 2 weeks from now, 2 Thursdays, we are going to be starting episode 1 of a mini series with Hunter about crypto mining. So we're going to try to cover as many community questions, bases, kind of introductory, how to start, what are we going to do, where do I start? I don't have a place, whatever. And we're going to cover that starting on 1:20. So it'll be same time, Fireside with Hunter. Hopefully we'll get to see you guys all there, and more of a little bit of a switch up, right? Coming from talking about tokens to kind of more of an informative session about, how mining is and where can I start for those who are looking for passive income. So hopefully you guys will all tune in. And also, does anybody else have a question before we get to Jay? Because I don't want him to go last. I don't want him to go next. So does anybody else have a question? No? That's too bad. All right, Jay, what do you want?
All right, Jay, what do you got?
First of all, this is Nick's last show. No, my question is concerns Valor. It's you guys are starting in 3 or 4 countries, if I'm not mistaken.
That is correct.
And you plan, and I've listened to other AMAs, and you guys plan to expand to Africa and Asia. And with your background at Rug Seekers, how do you guys plan to? How do you vet people? How do you reach that far to vet these people to make sure that your project stays on the up and up in these countries that you can't see? You can't see that far, right? So it's not a gotcha question in any way, right?
Yeah, that's the hard part, and that's why we launched. I don't want to say small. We're already global, but that's why we didn't launch in 40 countries. We are going to build this carefully, meticulously, and slowly if need be. We need to find the right person. If you get a group of 10,000 people, pretty soon the right ones are going to start rising to the top. You're going to see the interaction. You're going to see the passion. And then, we go from there. It won't be hey, Jay's in the chat. Let's make him head of the Nigerian chapter. It's going to be a slow, methodical vetting process so that we know we have the right people on board. Being that everything is going to be tied back to us, and that the 4 of us whose faces are on the website are ultimately responsible for what happens with this project, not only from a moral but a legal standpoint. You better believe we're going to be careful about who we bring on.
I appreciate that answer, Aquaman.
No problem.
Awesome. Anyone else have anything before we wrap this up? No? Awesome. All right. Well, again, Aquaman, if you want one last plug, go ahead. I don't want to steal your thunder, but tomorrow at 3 p.m., be ready.
Yeah. Tomorrow, 3 p.m. Hey, come say hi to us in the chat. We're actually a pretty fun group. We are expecting big things from this. We really are. We think we're going to be bigger than chocolate chip cookies, and we'd love to have you guys along for the ride.
Well, chocolate chip cookies are pretty good. Yeah. If you guys are better than that, then I'm in.
That's it.
So
that's it.
Thank you, Aqua, for taking the time. Seriously, this was awesome. It's always great getting to talk to you guys, and I love talking on voice chat. It's just so much of it's such a better experience. You learn so much more about your audience just from talking on. And more about the token from talking on voice chat. So thank you guys. Thank you so much, you and your community, for coming in and joining us tonight. You guys were awesome, and I'm very excited for tomorrow.
Yeah, we're stoked, man. We're really excited about this. And like I said, you guys are welcome over there anytime. We'd love to come back after launch and discuss how we're doing. Yeah,
that'd be great. I was actually going to ask if you would be interested in doing that. So that answers my question. So.
As long as Jay's gone by then, we're good.
Or if I mean, Jay might have taken over my spot. This is my last show, so we're gonna probably have to. I'm probably gonna be on a voice chat after this, so I wouldn't message me for a little bit if you have anything else to say. I'll probably be on the phone. But
there's a question. There's a question we've never been asked. Why do you let Jay in your Telegram?
There you go.
We don't have a choice. We don't have a choice. So, I'm surprised he's not chipping in. He's laughing right now. I can tell. He's not.
We love
keeping to himself. He'll get you after, Jim.
Replacement. He might be
actually.
Right.
He's already talking to me about replacing you, Nick. So he's messaging me right now, like I need to get this guy off of here. So.
He didn't even need to go on Indeed. Look at that. I'm impressed. Oh, awesome. Well, make sure you guys shoot them a follow on Twitter, Valor_World. I'm sure we'll see some updates coming on about the launch tomorrow. And next week, we will be on with Rug Seekers, which I'm also very excited about. So, Aqua, hopefully you guys will have some time to tune into your fellow team over here. I'll be chatting with Sarah. I'll be talking to Nicole. And I'll also be talking to Carl from Rug Seekers. So I'm very, very excited. I can't wait. Another awesome project, another great community. Personal to Astro Donkey. We've talked to them before while we were going through our processes, and just an awesome, awesome group of people. So hopefully you guys will all come in next week to join us and chat with Rug Seekers. And do you have any last words, Aqua, for the Astro Donkey and all the communities that are here tonight?
Man, if you guys would, we have been running with a hashtag of repay the debt. If everybody would take a minute and just kind of hang on to that hashtag, put it out there for us, help spread the word. Even if you don't want to invest, man, any little thing that you can do to get attention on us and to get attention on our mission would be much appreciated.
Jay, make yourself useful and throw that in the chat, would you, please?
There you go.
Thank you. And make sure, Aqua, please throw any kind of links, any kind of chat if you want to talk to Jay. Protectron's pretty strong, but anything that you guys want to put into the chat, make sure you let us know, and we'll get it to our community.
We sure will. Hey, thank you for having us. We really, really appreciate the time.
Of course. Hopefully we'll talk to you guys soon, and I'll see you guys tomorrow at 3 p.m. for sure.
Sounds good, man. We'll see you then.
Awesome. And before I go, there is one last thing that we have to do. So I will be doing, for everybody that's here, a special Mr. 69 giveaway of Donkey for the person that can guess how many bottles of bourbon I own. And you guys can either throw this in the chat, you can message me. If you guys don't know, I am a bourbon man. I love, I collect, I drink, love it. So I want to know if you guys can guess how many bottles of bourbon I have. And the person that guesses or gets as close to it as possible will win 25 million Donkey from Mr. 69's personal stash. So, guys, throw them in the chat, throw them in my DMs, whatever you want to do. And person that gets it close, we'll do it. We'll close it up tomorrow. We'll do tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll win 25 million Donkey from my personal stash. So, thank you guys again for tuning in. This was great. Valor, thank you guys again, and we will definitely talk to you soon. I'll be in touch, and after launch and everything, we'll check in and see how everything went.
Thanks again, Nick.
Awesome. Have a great night, everybody. Thank you.